Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're opening up quite a remarkable file. It's packed with passion, incredible feats, royal jealousy, enough to really define how a culture thinks about true love. We're sort of stepping away from the usual Western stories like Romeo and Juliet and diving into something with a unique Persian flavor. And it involves this almost unbelievable feat of engineering, carving a whole mountain for love.
That's right. We're doing a deep dive today into Shirin and Farhad. It's a foundational story in Persian literature, a really epic, tragic romance.
Okay.
And while, the story definitely has older roots in folklore, maybe oral traditions, the version that really cemented it, the one we're mostly looking at, comes from the great 12th century poet Nizami Ganjavi. It's in his masterpiece, Khosrow and Shirin.
Ah, Nizami. He's really the key figure here, isn't he? Because he didn't just, retell an old story. It added all this psychological depth.
Yeah.
Made it the benchmark, really.
Absolutely. He gave it layers.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our mission today, really, is to get into the heart of the conflict. We've got this intense, passionate, almost spiritual devotion from Farhad, a humble artist, pitted against the really destructive, calculating jealousy of Khosrow, this powerful king, and importantly, the sort of permanent monument they accidentally created together.
It's such a powerful story, precisely because I think it makes you confront the difference between, say, love that's based on power and control versus love that's earned through, sacrifice and genuine creation. Art, even.
Right. So let's set the scene. We start in ancient Armenia, and you need to picture this world of both luxury and natural beauty. Think dazzling white marble palaces set against these stunning snow-capped mountains. And here we meet Shirin. Now, she's not just some passive princess waiting around.
No, not at all.
She's introduced as an independent Armenian princess, known as much for her sharp mind as her beauty through. The descriptions mention raven hair, eyes like dark wine. Quite evocative.
And her independence is key. It immediately sets up the tension, because then you have the Persian king, Khosrow historically, we're talking Khosrow II, Khosrow Parviz, a powerful ruler, very proud.
Right.
He sees a portrait of Shirin, just a painting, and decides he must have her. And he tries to woo her the only way he really understands. Power, politics, lavish gifts. He expects her to just accept. Because who says no to the King of Kings?
But she does. That's the thing. Shirin, as we find out pretty quickly, just can't be bought or, pressured by wealth or status. And this is exactly when the real story of devotion kind of walks onto the stage. Enter Farhad.
Yes, Farhad. He's introduced as, humble but incredibly skilled. A stone carver. You get the sense of strong hands from his work, but a gentle heart.
Okay.
And Khosrow, actually still trying to impress Shirin in his own way, commissions Farhad to sculpt a statue of her, a lifelike statue. The king wants a monument to the woman he desires, the woman he wants to possess.
But the art itself completely backfires on him, doesn't it? The sources really focus on this moment when Farhad and Shirin's eyes meet, right there at the statue's unveiling.
Yes.
It's described as love at first sight, but it seems deeper than that, like a recognition of shared spirit, maybe, between the creator and the inspiration. Farhad, the sculptor, whispers this poetry, something like, your beauty is the chisel that carves my heart, using his own craft's language.
And Shirin's reply is just as significant, isn't it? She basically rejects the king's whole material approach by saying to Farhad, your art gives me life.
It's fascinating because Khosrow's love is about entitlement. He wants to own her.
Right.
Farhad's love is pure devotion. He wants to create for her, inspired by her. Khosrow's biggest mistake, arguably, was bringing the only man into the picture whose passion could actually outshine his own royal pride.
And the king sees it immediately. Instantly.
Yeah.
He recognizes the danger. It's not just that he might lose Shirin, but that he's losing her to someone, lesser in status, but who clearly possesses a stronger, maybe purer form of devotion.
So Khosrow gets incredibly jealous right away. He summons Farhad to his capital, Ctesiphon, which was this legendary city, right? Golden domes, silk banners, the absolute symbol of royal power.
A very calculated move. Khosrow's smart enough to know that just getting rid of Farhad violently might make him a martyr, might make Shirin hate him even more. So instead, he comes up with this psychological test, which brings us to part 2. Khosrow trying to use Farhad's own greatest strength, his love against him.
The challenge, the legendary demand. Khosrow orders Farhad to carve a tunnel, a functional pathway right through Mount Bisatun, this huge, imposing mountain.
Yeah, massive.
The justification is practical, supposedly so Shirin's caravan could pass through safely, cutting off months of travel. But really, it's not just a construction project. It's basically a death sentence disguised as an engineering problem.
Exactly right. And we really need to grasp the scale here. Mount Bisoden isn't just some hill. It's a colossal mountain range. To ask one man with just a chisel and hammer to carve a passage deep into its rock face. It's demanding something utterly impossible. It would take a lifetime, or kill you trying. Khosrow fully intended for Farhad to just die of exhaustion up there. Or maybe give up, proving his love wasn't strong enough.
To prove it was weaker than the king's will, basically.
Precisely. Inferior to royal authority.
And yet,
Yeah.
Farhad accepts. Just like that. Takes his tools, and fueled only by his love for Shirin, he starts. What really stands out in the story is the sheer time involved. Years pass.
Years.
And he doesn't treat the mountain like an enemy, does he? It's more like a canvas. He describes singing songs about Shirin while he works, the rock literally trembling from his blows. The labor itself becomes a kind of worship.
And that's what elevates him, isn't it? This continuous act of creation. Khosrow offers things, material wealth. Farhad offers his life's work, carved into the living stone. And while he's toiling away up there, Shirin, who's now in Persia, somewhat reluctantly, she actually rides out to visit him, secretly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bringing him simple things, water and bread, basic sustenance.
And that detail feels so important. Their love doesn't just survive this impossible situation, it actually seems to get deeper because of it. The king's plan to keep them apart physically has, ironically, forged this incredibly profound bond between them, out there under the stars.
Completely backfired on Khosrow in that sense. And this is why the legend around Bisoden starts to grow so fast. Rumors spread that Farhad must have superhuman strength.
Right.
But the story is quite clear. This strength isn't literal magic. It's presented as the power of pure, focused devotion. The texts emphasize that Farhad's chisel echoed Shirin's name, shaking the earth. It suggests his passion is so intense, it's giving him the power to reshape reality, to defy geology itself.
Incredible imagery.
Yeah.
But as Farhad keeps going, making relentless progress, I mean, the tunnel's actually getting close to being finished. Khosrow, who's apparently been spying on the whole operation. He becomes absolutely furious. His clever power play has completely failed. He just cannot allow this humble carver to succeed at this impossible task, because that success is proof of a devotion greater than his own.
And this brings up a critical point, doesn't it? What happens when raw political power finds itself totally ineffective against something like artistic genius fueled by love?
Yeah.
The answer in this story is deception. Khosrow realizes the only way left to beat Farhad is to attack the very source of his strength, his belief in Shirin and her love for him.
Ugh. And here's where the story takes its absolute darkest, most tragic turn. Khosrow arranges for the cruelest possible deception. He sends a messenger, a false messenger, up the mountain to Farhad. And this messenger delivers a fabricated, completely devastating lie. Shirin is dead. She died of grief, mourning for you.
And Farhad has poured every single ounce of his being, his soul, his identity, into this monumental task for her. Hearing this news it breaks him instantly and completely.
Strength.
Gone. The physical strength, which the story tells us came directly from his love, it just evaporates. He sings one last heartbreaking lament for Shirin, his lost muse.
And then, in that final awful act, he doesn't just collapse. He takes his chisel, the very tool of his love, the thing that carved her face into the mountain for eternity, and he strikes it into his own chest. Dies right there.
It's brutal. And the details often included that his blood flows out onto the stone, staining the mountainside red, a permanent mark.
It's horrific.
And the tragedy compounds very quickly. Shirin soon finds out the truth about the messenger, the lie, Khosrow's deceit. She rides frantically out to Mount Bisoden.
Oh, no.
And when she finds Farhad's body there, she delivers her own lament, a line that's just devastating. My love, you carved eternity, but left me trapped in time.
Wow, the weight of that.
Yeah.
He achieved this timeless act through his sacrifice, but she's still stuck in the world, bound by Khosrow's power and, earthly life.
Exactly. And in her despair, feeling utterly alone and betrayed, she grabs the very same chisel, the instrument of his devotion, and now his death, and she ends her own life right there beside him.
Oh, gosh, both of them.
Both of them. Their blood mingles on the rock. And legend adds, often, that from that very spot where they fell, roses grew. A symbol that even in death, their union created something beautiful.
A small, beautiful detail in all the darkness.
Khosrow arrives, eventually, but it's far too late. He's just faced with the terrible consequence of his jealousy. He regrets it, apparently, deeply regrets his pride and cruelty, but fate is sealed. He can't undo it.
And this is where the story connects back to the physical place, right?
Yeah.
The tunnel through Mount Besoden remains unfinished, exactly as Farhad left it. It's not a working passage. It's this massive, eternal monument to their doomed love, and maybe to the king's failure.
Absolutely. And connecting it back to Khosrow's own legacy, the sources, or at least the poetic traditions, suggest that the king is forever haunted by this. He continues to rule his empire, yes, but with significantly less pride. He's burdened by the knowledge that his jealousy crushed something pure, something powerful, this incredible devotion and artistic genius he encountered. He might have won the political battle, kept his power, but he lost the moral argument forever.
So let's just circle back then to the lasting power of this whole story. Because Mount Besoden is still there, right? People can visit. And they say you can still see faint outlines. Carvings, Farhad, made of Shiren's face, etched into the stone. A constant physical reminder of his impossible work and sacrifice.
Yeah, it's why this story resonates across centuries, I think, and why people, especially lovers, reportedly still visit the site, maybe leave flowers, roses even. This tale is just the ultimate reflection on, well, the power of artistic devotion standing up against political tyranny. Khosrow kept his crown, technically. But Farhad's love carved a path not just through stone, but you could say through time itself. He achieved a different, maybe superior kind of immortality, not through conquering things, but through creating something.
It really makes you think, though. The entire story pivots on the jealousy of someone powerful, actively destroying true devotion, destroying creative genius, and Khosrow regretted it, apparently. So what does this tale really suggest to you, maybe to all of us, about the true cost of letting pride or entitlement or jealousy just crush genuine passion? And maybe, what if Khosrow hadn't? What if he'd actually just let Farhad succeed? Or even, I don't know, celebrated him, commissioned him further? How different might the king's own legacy be? What's the real price, I wonder, of that unfinished monument on the mountainside?